So guys, in today's video we are gonna look closer at the perfume collection of a very popular niche brand that is called INITIO Parfums Privé, and I will tell you my personal, honest and humble opinion if these fragrances are actually worth all the hype that's going on in the fragrance community. So make sure to keep on watching to find out all about that. And before we get started, I would like to ask every one of you who is new here or hasn't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel, and also don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like my reviews on popular hyped fragrances. And once you're done with that, and only then, we will get started. Hi guys, and welcome to another Worth the Hype episode that I have so much fun filming for you. So if you have any requests on other popular and hyped fragrances that you want me to look at and actually tell you if they're worth it or not, then feel free to request them down below in the commentary section, and you can actually share with me if you have any experience with INITIO perfumes or not. I'm very excited to tell you how I feel about them, and it's actually very cool that for this video I teamed up with INITIO, and this is an online perfume shop for perfume decants. So on their website you can choose from so many different niche brands, which is an amazing way to test new fragrances that are super popular or maybe less known, and actually find something that will amaze you, and even if you fall in love with it, you can actually purchase it from them in full size. And as you know, I always recommend you to test before invest. Something might be very popular and hyped, but it's always better to smell it first before blind buying something expensive, and these decants are very helpful for that. They're also very handy if you're traveling or you want to carry your favorite fragrance everywhere you go. So make sure to check out INITIO's website, the link to which you'll find down below in the description box. And while you're doing that, I'm jumping right into it, and I gotta be honest with you, I've heard positive feedback regarding INITIO perfumes, so I was very much intrigued by their collection. And the first one I've smelled from them is a Psychedelic Love, because, well, I won't lie, I really love the notes of it, because it features note of ylang-ylang, that's kind of like tropical flower, and heliotrope, and it smells quite powdery like makeup. So I will be spraying all these fragrances on myself today, so by the end of this video I will be a walking perfume myself. But what I can tell you is that result of this fragrance is a luscious powder, and I gotta be honest with you, I fell in love with it right at first sniff. So it has spot on name, it's Psychedelic Love, but besides the fact I really love it, it reminded me of something that I wasn't the biggest fan, and I quickly figure out what that fragrance is, because it has a very dominant DNA of Velvet Orchid by Tom Ford. And this fragrance has also this sour element and depth, but unlike Tom Ford's bestseller, it is more diffusive, it is fresh. Although it is sweet and luscious and powdery and decadent, it's overloaded with this perfume material, guys, that is called Hedion. And Hedion works like a floral blender, so it doesn't have very distinct scent, but it really pushes all the other floral notes. So it does it to ylang-ylang and rose in here, and it makes it more translucent and transparent and airy and diffusive, yet it has a very strong character. So I personally really like it, and I think this is gonna be my first full-size bottle from INITIO, so maybe I shouldn't start with something that I love so much and is my number one, but here you go. It's Psychedelic Love. It is sweet and powdery, so in order to appreciate it you need to like those fragrances. And if you have any experience with it, please let me know if it's similar to Orchid by Tom Ford or not, and I would be very curious to hear your opinion on that. And with that being said, I'm moving on to another powdery fragrance from INITIO that is called High Frequency. And when I first smelled this one, I liked it a lot because it is powdery, and I love powdery fragrances so much, so it's not hard for me to enjoy something powdery. What's unique about this one is that it is a light and airy powderiness, and it has a prominent note of almonds in there, but unlike many other almondy perfumes that can be dusty and sweet or smell like liqueur, this one smells like almond powder on the flowers. And once again, this one has lots of hedione as well, so maybe that's why it has this airiness to it. And I wouldn't call it a very complex fragrance actually. I was so obsessed with it that I used to wear it every day, and at some point I couldn't smell it anymore, so I became anosmic to it. It's not the most complex fragrance, and actually it reminds me of a very popular perfume from the brand Parfums de Marly, that is a Pegasus, but it doesn't have that, you know, kind of like lavenderish note in here, and it's milky, it's very pleasant, it's like your second skin. Lovely fragrance, not sure if it's worth the hype for that price, but what I can tell you is that it is unisex and very everyday time friendly. Righty then, let's talk about one of the most hype and probably one of the most popular fragrances from this brand that is not like your second skin, it's right in your face, and it is Oud for Greatness. And I was really excited for this one because I love the note of oud, and the way this one smells is odd because it smells dirty, you know, like muddy dirty, as if you were in the forest and there was oak moss and mud and stuff like that. So it has this herbal touch, and at the same time it smells clean, maybe because of spices such as nutmeg and saffron. Oh my god, there is lots of saffron in there, and with patchouli and musk in the base, it creates almost like a medicinal element, and I don't like that. I actually don't like saffron in perfumes, I cannot stand it in food, so maybe that's saffron that puts me off. I don't know, maybe that's lavender, which is not my favorite note either, but what I can tell you is that it is a very loud fragrance. I mean, like, even one spritz goes such a long way, so probably that's why it's so popular. I don't know. Oud fragrances, they smell really expensive, so probably because it's so loud and strong, people like it, but to me it's too herbal, it's too medicinal, it's even too masculine and even too loud. So one spritz goes such a long way. I am overwhelmed by it pretty quickly, so I'm not the biggest fan, I'm sorry, and please don't be offended if you really like it. If you're a fan, please share your experience with this perfume. It's alright if it's different from mine, and I mean, perfumes are so subjective, so these are just my personal feelings and impressions of these fragrances. So I cannot like every single one of them, and I just want to let you know what I really love and what worked out for me and what's not something special in my personal opinion. Even this oud fragrance reminds me of many other oudy perfumes, not a specific one, but there are fragrances like it out there. Right, so next fragrance we are gonna talk about is called Addictive Vibration, and I love its color, it's so vibrant. So I remember when I first smelled these perfumes, and that was actually in the first impression unboxing video on Instagram, so if you don't follow me there, make sure to do so, because I open all fragrances I receive on my Instagram, so you can actually see my first impressions. So I remember when I first smelled it, I thought about one fragrance that's actually not my favorite one, and if you've been with me for a while, then you know how I feel about Alien by Mugler. Well, actually when it came out, I had a sample and I wore it to high school and I thought I liked it, but oh my god, I've been waiting all day long to get home and take a shower and take my clothes off because I couldn't stand it because of its stickiness and indolic jasmine, and it has Alien DNA for sure. It is sweet, it is floral, it smells also a little bit fruity, and in the battle between those two, I would say that Addictive Vibration would win because it's smoother, but oh my god, it is strong, you guys. If you want to stand out, you know, if you want to smell mass appealing, like people know, but you want to take it to another level, that's Addictive Vibration. It is more feminine, I would say, and I like it, but I'm afraid of it because it reminds me of Alien too much. So Oud for Greatness and this one, they are very strong, and in my opinion, less is more with them, because you might overwhelm people if you go heavy on them, because they project really well even if you apply normal amount, but if you don't overspray, then actually it might be quite appealing. Right, so let's talk about something lighter, because it might seem like all fragrances from this brand are extreme, and they are, but this one is quite different and it's one of my favorites, which is called Musk Therapy. And its bottle is quite different too because it's white, so the rest is kind of like black or purple. And since I don't have a bottle here with me, I cannot judge on it, but it's not like super pretty, it's all right. But the white one, it's quite special. So this fragrance is about musk, and musk is one of my most favorite notes. Musk can be so different. It can be clean, it can be powder, it can be fluffy, it can be animalic, and this is a juicy, fresh, citrusy musk. The most noticeable note in the opening is black currant. It's really popping when you spray it on, and then it smells like musk on citruses, on bergamot, and it's very light and pleasant. And actually you can overspray this one, you can go heavy on it and it won't be too much. Actually, I think it's gonna be even prettier, it will grow on you. And because it's so casual, it can be worn to work, for example, even to formal places like office. So this is something very universal for men and women, particularly if you like black currant, you'll get a lot of it. That's so mouth-watering in the opening. But if you rather prefer deeper and woodier perfumes, they have more. For example, this one that's called Mystic Experience is about woods and also amber, but not vintage amber. You know, back in the days, amber was vanillic, it was resinous, and these days it smells woody and it smells sexy. If you like perfumes from Xerjoff that are heavy on amber, you will love this one too, because it's quite like that, and it just smells expansive. It has this beautiful sweetness to it, it is abstract, it has vibe of niche perfume. It reminds me of many other fragrances like it. Think about some amber or wood fragrance from exclusive designer range. It has that vibe for sure. It is perfectly unisex, great for colder days because it is very warm. It's great if you're going out because it's loud. So yeah, Mystic Experience, can't say anything bad about it. It doesn't smell too unique, but it's okay. So that was it. Next is Absolute Aphrodisiac, and Initio knows something about great marketing, because did you notice all their perfumes are called so attractive you want to have a perfume that would be absolute aphrodisiac, and I like that they don't lie. So this is quite an aphrodisiac because it's about vanilla, and you cannot deny the power of attraction of this note. Actually, it's one of my favorites. I have many videos dedicated to it, and with this fragrance we get darker vanilla with hint of leather, with woods. So it's great if you're going on a date night and you want something very attractive and sensual and cozy and delicious. It's yummy, it's sort of gourmand. It's quite strong, but not too much. So I think it's a nice one, but once again, it reminds me of other vanillic fragrances in this style. For example, think of INITIO by Nishane, or think of L'Unfeline by Atelier des Ors. I have whole top list dedicated to dark vanilla perfumes, so in case you're looking for some options, definitely check them out, but this one would fit in pretty well. And with that being said, you guys, we have one fragrance left, and it's in this red flacon, so you can guess what it is. Well, I'll tell you, it's of course Atomic Rose, and I wanted to smell this one so much, so I'm really happy that I have it here. I wore it to work many times, and it is pretty strong and it really cuts my nose. So I would describe it as sharp modern rose. You know, it doesn't smell like natural rose that grows in your garden, nor it smells like vintage powdery rose. It smells like sharp, clean, and quite fizzy rose. I could describe it as polished metallic knife that's created out of rose petals, but that might be a little bit too confusing. I can tell you it's also overloaded with Hédillon, so once again I've described you how Hédillon works, and I think it's most favorite perfume material of Initio. It pushes on the flowers, it has some sweetness, some zesty and bitey fruitiness, and it is quite a strong fragrance too, that for sure smells a lot like Delina by Parfums de Marly. And I guess, at least what I understand, is that these are sister companies. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, if you like Delina, go for it. As you know, I'm not the biggest fan, but because of it, I need to smell Delina one more time. It's more feminine, it is quite recognizable, it is super strong, so It's a nice one if you want to make a bold statement and you want to have a signature scent. And that was all I want to tell you about these fragrances that I had an opportunity to smell. Now the question is, are they worth the hype or not? And I can tell you I understand why people hype them, because they smell rich and intense and strong. But at the same time, I'm so familiar with many commercial, designer, niche and indie perfumery, and I would say INITIO doesn't bring anything artistic and new to the fragrance market and to the fragrance community. They just dupe other very popular fragrances that already kind of like create nice reputation, and we know that they are popular, and I'm kind of like in between. I like these perfumes and there is nothing wrong to maybe create something that is popular and hyped and loved, but yeah, these are not fully unique fragrances, but I haven't smelled all, so let me know if you want me to continue reviewing their fragrances. Let me know how you feel about this brand and this line, and if you have any questions left, I'm here to answer them. If you're interested in these perfumes, I would recommend to smell them first in the shop or get decants from INITIO. The link to the website is in the description box. And if you love modern perfumery and you love projection and performance, then check them out. But if you like natural fragrances, keep on your mind that these can smell synthetic to you. But if you have different opinion, feel free to share it with all of us. I hope you found this video helpful, and if so, please don't forget to give it a huge thumbs up. For you, it's so easy, and for me, it's huge help that helps to grow my channel a lot. And if you want to support me even more, then feel free to donate on Buy Me Coffee website. The link is below. And finally, I would like to know which are the hyped fragrances that you notice are getting very popular, you want me to discuss and have critical look at. So I'm excited to hear from you, and thank you so much for watching. Make sure to stay tuned and smell good. We'll see each other in my next one really soon. So bye guys!